Thank you so much for joining us today for our staff devotional. What I want to do today is really just look at Proverbs chapter 27. We finished up the book of Amos last time that we were here online. And so today I just want to look at a proverb. And a lot of times when I'm in between reading a book of the Bible or maybe doing a Bible study or something, what I will do is just look at my watch and whatever day it is, be it the 1st or the 27th or whatever, I will read that proverb. So Proverb 27, I'm recording this here on September 27th. And so that's a really easy way to have a Bible text to read for the day if you're in between something or if you're just wanting to get started with reading one chapter a day. So let's look at Proverbs chapter 27 together today. We're going to look at really three sections in Proverbs 27 that all kind of deal with the theme of the future. Okay, so we'll start in Proverbs 27 verse 1, and I'm going to look at the New Living Translation today. And so it starts off and it reads like this: "Don't brag about tomorrow, since you don't know what the day will bring." And that is a important thing to remember, because you and I are not God, and we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So we can make plans. We can think that certain things are going to happen, but if we guarantee that, we're going to be, maybe we say, I'm going to work really hard, and in 3 years I'm going to be at the next level of my job, or maybe I'm going to work really hard, and in 6 months I'm going to have lost 15 pounds, or whatever it is. We don't always control those things, and so we don't know what the day will bring. And so it's good to have a plan. The Bible makes that clear. We're going to see that again later. But the idea is that we can't hold that firmly. We can't say for certain that one thing will or will not happen in the future. And I think, this side of 2020, most of us realize that we didn't see something like that coming in our life. And so we get that we have a plan, we are working towards something, but that we cannot, as human beings, see the future or guarantee its outcome. God alone can do that. Now, let's look a little bit further down. We're going to look in Proverb 27, verse 12 and 13. It says this: it says, "A prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. Get security from someone who guarantees a stranger's debt. Get a deposit if he does it for foreigners." And so the idea here is that we should be thoughtful about what we're going to do in the future. We should be thoughtful about how we make our plans each day, because a prudent person, a wise person, looks ahead and can tell something is coming on the horizon. And so maybe we ought to adjust our behavior day to day so that we will be in a better position down the road. For example, I'm recording this in, as I said, September of 2022. A lot of people are predicting a global recession coming up. And so we might want to change our spending habits a little bit to make sure that we kind of rein in some of our extra things to prepare for a possible time of lean times ahead. And here's the thing: if we're wrong about that, if we're overly cautious and we have some extra money sitting there, maybe we can do something fun that we weren't planning, that we didn't think we were going to be able to do. And so a prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. The simpleton is the one who goes on blindly and suffers the consequences without a plan, without anything. Now, we understand, we can make plans, and as the first verse that we read says, perhaps the danger that's coming is even worse than we imagined. That's a real possibility. But we can live our life wisely in the meantime. Now, the second point of these two verses, in verse 13, says that we are supposed to get a security from someone who guarantees a stranger's debt. In other words, don't be naive. If we don't know someone, we can't really, we can say that we trust them, But one person used to say, trust but verify these things. So we want to be careful in different circumstances so that we're making wise choices. So be intelligent and be cautious about the future. Now, we're going to look further down in verses 23 and 24, and this is another set of verses which really addresses the future here. And so as we look at verse 23, it says, know the state of your flocks and put your heart into caring for your herds, for riches don't last forever, and the crown might not be passed on to the next generation. So again, yes, be cautious, but the idea, even though you and I don't have flocks, maybe you do, I don't. I have a dog, hardly a flock, but we're supposed to know really the state of our affairs. So we should know, how much money you bring in, right? Each paycheck. You should know what your general expenses are. You should know, what the condition of wherever you live is in. Could you go a couple weeks without pay? Could you make it if your car had some car troubles? So the idea is that we know the state of our affairs, because riches don't last forever and the crown might not be passed to the next generation. In other words, we go back to that idea in verse 1 again. We don't always know what the day holds. We don't always know what the future brings. We can be pretty intelligent, but we're not God. We can't see perfectly into the future. We can see into the past, and we think we know what happened, and maybe we know some details about the past, but God can see even more clearly than we can see in the past. God can see forward into the future and know what's coming. And so we need to live our life and hold on to our possessions, our jobs, whatever it is that God's given us. We hold that loosely. Even our families, we hold that loosely, and we give our very best, and we plan to do well each day. We plan to live each day as if it's in a way that would honor God and that would set us up well in the future. And I don't mean just, that you're piling up money, but I mean relationally, that you're making choices that make the relationships that you value able to be maintained. You're making choices today that will allow you to be faithful tomorrow. In other words, you're not overextending yourself financially to the point where you might not be able to give to God in the future. You're not overcommitting your time one day and in the future, saying yes to too many things, to where you won't be able to serve God in the future. You're being careful about the way that you live each day so that you set yourself up well in the future. In other words, maybe you spend extra time with loved ones when you have it that day, because you know that you probably will have times in the future when you don't have the extra time to spend with them, and you want to maintain a good relationship there. And so those are some ways that you and I can live wisely according to God's word in Proverbs chapter 27 as we look forward to our week and the rest of our year. So I hope that's helpful. And if it is, let us know in the comments below. You can always drop us a comment or a question on social media, and we'd love to help you out. So we hope to see you again soon at Greenwood, whether that is in person or online in one way or another. Thanks a lot.